Peace, love, and light. It is your favorite positive queen, Desire. That's Desire with a Z. Don't play with me.
Born, build or destroy. God, equality, power, culture, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, cipher. Get excited.
What up, y'all? How you feel? It's Merch Life J. You already know. We here with the Merch Life Publishing Podcast, episode number 1. Get excited. And we have a crazy, amazing, super duper splendiferous, fantastic guest today. IAMDEZIRE is in the building. And I just want y'all to really understand how important the name is. How are you this evening, sis? How are you?
You know, I am feeling blacktastic, blessed and highly favored. I'm feeling myself, you know, my energy is high. Been eating clean, meditating, prayer, and laughing a lot, smiling a lot, you know, staying positive. So I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm always excited, full of energy and things of that nature. But I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you doing well. And listen, man, I want them to understand that I need to know, what does the name mean and why was it created in such a way that it is now? How did it become what it is?
Let me start off by just giving y'all my greeting, which is peace, love, and light. It is your favorite positive queen, Desire. That's Desire with a Z. Don't play with me. Now, the reason why we say don't play with me is because Desire, many of you know, some of you don't know, my mother named me Desire. Desire is my biological name. However, it is spelled with an S, just like the word desire. But for some reason, people always wanted to call me Desiree. One of the most trying things about my childhood was, you know, many of you know again that COINTELPRO chopped my childhood in half, right? Ripped my parents away from me. So I didn't grow up with my parents. I was in and out of different family members' homes as a child, and nobody wanted to call me Desire. And imagine a 6-year-old girl like, my mother named me Desire. My name is not Desiree, right? But they were insistent on calling me Desiree. So I said, you know what, when I get older, I'm gonna make sure people say my name correctly. So what I did was I tweaked it and I took off the S and I put the Z, not only so that it could be pronounced correctly, but so that folks understand that this new desire, this desire with a Z, comes with a certain level of consciousness that is constantly elevating.
Yes.
Okay, so we can break down desire. I turned it into an acronym.
All right, bet. What up, y'all? How you feel? It's Merch Life J, motivational, inspirational speaker for parapreneurs across the globe. You already know. I just came to tell y'all, man, after building up this Instagram to almost 20,000 followers and building up a TikTok to over 15K, I might know what I'm talking about just a little bit. So, 10 ways to 10K, man. My new ebook. Go get that. Link in the bio. Click it right now.
And DEZIRE, the D stands for determined, empress, zealously, inspiring, royalty everywhere.
Yeah, that's super dope. And I love acronyms. I guess it's a personal thing with me with acronyms too, because merch got all of these different. Merch got two different meanings, you know. And then I just love acronyms, and I like the fact that you took, you know, that you took the negative aspect of people not respecting your name, and you made evolve the name into something even bigger and better. Whereas though they can't even, it's undeniable now. You know, you can't mess the name up now. So yeah, I like that. I like that, man. I like that.
If you mess it up now, honey, you might just be hating. I don't know. You might just be hating a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely hating if you mess that one up, because it's you made it just stand out. So I really like that. And my son's name started with a Z too. My very firstborn, his name is Zayden. Yeah, so I like.
What's his name?
Zayden.
Zayden?
Yeah, Zayden.
That's dope. I've never heard that name before.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I know a boy named Jaden, one of my oldest son's friends, but not with a Z. So yeah, that's dope. But also I know like two little girls from Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from, whose name is Desire. Actually, one's name is Desire like mine. And the other one, her name is Josiah with a J.
Wow. That's awesome.
Right. I had the opportunity to coach them on my cheerleading squad back in the day. And I used to tell Desire, like, don't let them mess up your name. Make them say your name right.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. And that's an inspiration right there too, to other young women. Speaking of inspiring young women, get the book that is the cornerstone for your brand, to me, I don't know if it is to you, but to me, it's not even out yet. Like, let's talk about the biggest book of the year that it drops. Let's talk about Black Girl Found, and how did that even become a concept for you to write a book about it?
Wow. So Black Girl Found it is a story about my life. And but it's probably going to be plenty sequels to Black Girl Found, because my life, you can't just tell it in one book, right?
Right.
But the first volume of Black Girl Found is dropping this year, 2021. You have that to look forward to. And this is about a young girl who lost her way. Now, this is a young girl who's, before COINTELPRO destroyed my childhood, my mother was a Black Panther. My mother and father were Black Panthers. My mother and father were also 5%ers. So the teachings, right, the God lessons were already placed in me. Covering my hair, doing wudu before prayer, and eating bean pie and navy bean soup and things like that was already in me, because that was the foundation. So my mother planted the seed of righteousness through Islam in my mind, in my spirit, in my household, in my family. So it's only right that I would come back to it, right? And in doing so, I was able to find myself. And getting into the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Farad Muhammad, learning and studying and getting into those teachings, I'm able to find myself, right? Which came with a whole lot of other things, personality and character flaws that I've developed over the years of being in survival, right? Being in survival mode, just so I can get to the next day and not lose my life, right? Just so I can keep my peace of mind and my sanity, right? So these are some of the things that Black Girl Found is going to speak about. And even a lot of, I'm so sorry, what'd you say, brother? I'm sorry.
No, I said, whoa, that's powerful. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Black Girl Found is probably the biggest project of my life, only because the process of writing this book is also healing for me as well. A lot of times you don't realize how deep the trauma is until you actually write it down and you see it on paper. And it's been times, nights where I'm crying because I'm like, these things are coming back. You know what I mean? And not just for, I passed that level, but the little girl, that little 6-year-old girl, that little 11-year-old girl, that little 14-year-old girl back then, I feel her like, come on, baby, we getting there, we coming. We almost there. We're going to get this story out, because we understand that it's plenty of young girls, and not just young girls, young boys too, who have had similar experiences like I've had: child molestation, child abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, domestic violence. Again, not just young women. There are men that right now as adults, right? So my book is aimed to tap into the hearts and minds of the broken and the lost. And I can help others find their purpose and to find themselves in this world of madness.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I really like the fact that you said about what you said about writing a book about your past, or just about your life in general, or whatever situation, is a form of healing too. It's like a win-win-win situation, because one, you get to heal from the parts of your story that you haven't. Two, someone else gets to learn from your mistakes. And then three, you get to tell your story to somebody that it didn't even happen to yet, but that was headed towards that same path, and you can stop them from making the mistakes that they haven't even gotten to the point to make yet. And that's super duper awesome. That's super powerful. Like, beyond making money off of the book, you know, beyond being known for the book. Like,
Right.
to me, that's the best part about writing. What to you is the biggest takeaway from becoming an author and getting your story out there? What would you tell someone that is basically on the fence, like, I might want to write a book, but I'm not sure? What would you tell that person?
You know, I would say, especially to people who look like me, sisters and brothers, melanated beings, you know, a lot of our history has been stolen from us. There's a lot of books, there's a lot of literature that we will never read because libraries have been burnt down, elders have been murdered and slaughtered who have certain information. You know, a lot of our monuments and things have been destroyed. So now is our time to rewrite our history. So if you're on the fence, get up off that bad boy and start writing. Let's get it.
You scrolling on the phone, you watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll write a book next month, but maybe I'll write a book next year. No, do it right now. They'll work with you after work, and they'll work with you before work. They'll do whatever you need them to do for you to become an author. Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day scrolling on the phone anyhow. Why don't you click on something that's going to help you in your future? Just click on Merch Life Publishing and make the call. DM them right now. Why are you making it complicated?
Born, build or destroy. God, equality, power, culture, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, cipher. Get excited.
No, that was like the dopest thing I heard all day right there. I really appreciate that. But moving on to your other works of art. First of all, for the crowd, the people that don't know you, how many books do you have finished right now, already out?
Finished, I got 4 books. Finished, I have 3 of them that are out. I have 1 on the way. Actually 2 on the way. So 4 written, 3 of them are on my website, www.IAMDEZIRE.com. That's Desire with a Z. Don't play with me. So go get those books. So yeah, we got 4 books. We got 4 books written.
All right. And what would you say is your favorite book out of those 4? And what would you say is the biggest transformation or lesson from that book? That's your favorite one. Which one?
Oh, out of all 4 books, if I'm gonna keep it a bean, because you know I'm from the hood, so I gotta come at y'all so y'all understand me. Out of all 4 books that I have written, what'd you say?
That's Philly slang. Keep it a bean. That's Philly slang.
That's Philly slang. Yeah. I got some dudes out in Philly that play with birds like the eagles. You know. No. But so I really enjoy Bounce Back. Bounce Back has not been released yet. Bounce Back is a book that we can all relate to. My favorite part about Bounce Back, still not sure when I'm going to release this book, but soon. My favorite part about Bounce Back is, you know, we go into detail in this book on how the most successful people that we know today have failed, and they have failed hard, and they have failed big, and they continue to bounce back. Yeah. So this is my favorite book right now.
Yes, ma'am. And I already know about that, about that bounce back. But it's like, it don't matter how many stories you heard about bouncing back. I gotta read it. I got to. As soon as it come out, I need that. Like, because who doesn't love an underdog story? You know what I mean? Like that's one of the best things to read, because it's like, all right, I know Batman or Superman, Spider-Man, whoever. I know he's not going to lose, but I just want to see how he won. I came to watch, you know. I don't want, because you always know that the good guy's going to win. You just come to watch how they're going to win.
How, right. You want to see them overcome in your face, and then they face too, right?
Exactly.
So I really love this book because, again, I have felt flat on my face too many times. Like, you know, even starting like digital real estate, right? Even creating platforms to bring content to people and motivation and inspiration and things like that. Life happens. Life happens, right? You have great intentions, you have the willpower, the mindset, the capacity to deliver, inspiration, right? If you're like me, you're the type of person that could be going through hellfire and your friend is texting you that's having a crisis and you're saying the most uplifting, powerful things. Meanwhile, you're going through hellfire right now.
Yup, been there.
This is why you all got to tap into this book, Bounce Back, because I promise you, man, one of my biggest failures happened in 2017. I was sitting in the courtroom fighting for my freedom. Bounce back from that though. So I understand, sister. I understand the brothers that are single fathers and the sisters that are single mothers and the brothers that are fighting cases and don't know if they're going to see the light of day, right? I understand heartbreak and letdown and setups and I understand it from people that you would never think in a million years. I get that. We fall down. We all fall down. But we what?
Already know.
Bounce back. Gotta have that bounce back game. You feel me? Gotta have it.
Definitely. So I want to talk about your 5 Reasons book too. I want to talk about what made you even get into the life of eating healthy or just doing I think you touched on it earlier a little bit, but just doing better for yourself, but just doing better for yourself. What made you want to be what made you want to get healthy besides veganism, besides what you eat? What made you want to be healthy in general? And then what led you to writing that book, that specific book? Because again, that's one of those books that I'm going to have to get.
Yeah, and that book is actually free right now on the website. It'll probably be free indefinitely because that was my baby. That was my first book. It was very, very important to me to convey the message to the folks that I wanted to get across. I went vegan in 2014. I suffered a heart attack. I'm pretty young. I'm a young woman. I'm not in my 50s yet, not even half of 40 yet, but I suffered a heart attack at the ripe age of like 34, 33, something like that. And prior to having that heart attack, I have been admitted in the hospital 3 to 4 times a year from 2011 to 2014. I'm a young mother. My children were very young at the time. Imagine, being a single mother, raising 2 children in the hood. You're the only, breadwinner. You provide everything that the children have. And you're constantly in and out of the hospital. So you can't work, you can't provide. Your children are stressed out. They just want to go to school and do regular children things, but mom's in the hospital and she might not make it, so that was it. It was just like me experiencing death, right? Having a touch of death as an adult woman and having other people who were depending on me to survive.
That's another great point. That when you get to a certain, because I just turned 30, right? And wow. I think it's like something to do with the maturity pace of males versus females. But like I feel like women are always more adept when it comes to like raising children, and just being responsible, right? Because I just got like I recently just had another and it wouldn't be the first time, but another culture shock as far as getting in age and then thinking about my health and looking at my children, being at the park with them. I'm playing football and I'm like, dang, we ain't even do nothing yet and I'm tired. Y'all ready to go? And I'm like, what I'm saying? So it's really different when that hits you. So not to that extreme, but I definitely can understand what you were saying, like on my level. Like I can understand that health is definitely something you start thinking about when you start looking at them and you're like, dang, they really looking up to me, like, you know what I mean? But like I said, man, I think that's a great why factor right there, And people definitely say don't like use your children as why factors, but I feel like the same way we have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, those short-term and mid-term help us reach the long-term. So why wouldn't we have a short-term why? Why wouldn't we have a long-term, a mid-term why? Your children could be your mid-term why. They get to a certain age, they're not going to need you as much. They still going to need you, just not as much. You know what I mean?
And they'll remember the things you taught them, the things you showed them, the eating habits and things like that. They'll remember that.
Yeah, and another big thing that I keep learning over and over again as a father is that they don't really care about what you say. They're gonna do what they see you do, rather than what they hear you say. So
talk about it.
Yeah, that's real for me. That's real for me because, man, I tell you, man,
I was sharing something with a friend, and I was saying how I remember before, again, we going back to COINTELPRO because this is my story. So before COINTELPRO took over, I remember the last couple of memories I have of my mom, she was potty training me. So maybe around 4, maybe 5, but I'll say 4 because I don't think I was in kindergarten yet. And I remember saying, Mommy, I'm done. I was like, I'm done with the pull-ups. I know how to potty now. And she's like, you do? I'm like, yeah. So she said, okay, go potty on the big toilet. No more little toilet. So I go potty on the big toilet. And before I took the tissue to clean myself off, I shook a little bit. And she said, who taught you how to shake like that? I said, I watched you do that, Mommy. That's what you do when you use the bathroom. So it just goes to show they watch everything, every little thing.
Every tiny itty bitty thing, man.
The next book is 5 Benefits of Morning Rituals.
Okay, the 5 benefits of morning rituals. So
you remember, did you? Mm-hmm. So here it is here.
I think I saw a post about that one though.
Right. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably backwards, but.
Yeah, I can see it. It's not backwards.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. What inspired the book, and what made you like? Who does a morning ritual and why? Like, what are morning rituals?
Let me tell you something. This is what a morning ritual is. The first thing you do when you wake up. Now look at this. Some of us, as soon as we wake up, what we do? Grab your phone. You want to see who texted you. And or if you got some stocks, you want to check your stocks, right? You want to check your things like that. Some of us, the first thing we do is we roll up an L and we smoke. Before you brush your teeth, before you say Allahu Akbar, you smoke. Some of us light a cigarette. Some of us take a swig of some alcohol. Some of us eat a donut, right? For breakfast. First thing you eat a donut. You done rolled over and you got some leftover snacks. You done put that in your mouth. So it's really, you know what I mean? You know, we do these things and we wonder why it's so hard to achieve just a daily goal that we set for that day. It's so hard for me to freaking just get past this day and do this one thing I set out to do. Why? Because you have poor morning rituals.
Ooh, that's a gem. That's a gem. Y'all hear that? How you start is how you finish. Keep going.
How you start is how you finish. And you develop good habits because good habits create what? Good outcomes, right? So we develop great habits. So now for me, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I get on my knees and I pray. Because ain't nobody getting that. Ain't nobody getting that time. Not my children, not my significant other, not my sister, my brother, my homie, nobody, nope. That's between me and Allah. Right? And we pray, right? That's the prayer. And we do, and we want to be conscious of, even if your phone is ringing off the chain, nope, I'll reply later. I'll call them back. And if you're not a big religious person, if you're not a big, spiritual person, you might want to go outside and stretch in the sun, because if you think about it, all things in creation give reverence to the Most High. All things. Dogs wake up in the morning and they stretch. Cats wake up in the morning, they stretch. The birds wake up in the morning, they chirp. And they all face which way? You know what I mean? Whichever way that sun is, that's where they're facing.
That's true.
The plants do it. Okay, so it's very important that we align with what's natural or with nature. Yeah. So when you align with what's natural and you do this regularly, now everything starts to line up. Okay, now I got up, I said my prayer, I got outside, I got me some sun, I might meditate, I might pray, whatever I do, then I'll fix me a smoothie, or I might take a walk or a jog or a run, or I might stretch because it's raining outside, do a few, push-ups, right? Develop great habits. Morning rituals. And if you do this, if you start doing little things like that, speak positivity into yourself. You know, I am successful. You look in the mirror every morning when you brush your teeth and wash your face. It's nothing to wipe the collage out and say, I am successful. I am intelligent. Yep. Right? I am inspiring. I am uplifting. Speak those things to yourself. And now you're on the road and you're heading to the job and you're not feeling like, oh, I gotta go in here because you just rolled out of bed and didn't have a real morning ritual in place. So now you don't even feel like going to work. Now you go in there frowning up at people. You can't make your quota because you can't think straight because you ain't decide to let me give myself a routine.
Yeah. How it begins is going to carry through. And I like what you said about stretching. Like, I feel like you said, everything is going to submit to the will of Allah no matter what. It doesn't have a choice, even if it did have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when you get up in the morning and you start the rhythm of I'm winning, I'm successful, this is positive, that's positive. I'm writing down my goals as in the present tense, not as I want it, but as I have it. Mm-hmm. Everything, all the molecules around you are gonna conform or conspire for that to be real. Because in the morning, the first thing you said was, you have this. Well, you know what? I think that something is incorrect because she's saying this is what she has. So we got to make this happen right now. And all you're going to do is walk right into the path of whatever you said you had. And that's really the, man, I think that's one of my favorite gems on this podcast so far.
Somebody said something. I can't remember who it was. It was a sister or a brother, and they said something to the effect of this. And I don't want to chop up their words, but they said, when you go through the drive-through, right? Which I don't eat drive-through, but when I did eat drive-through, I'd be like, let me get a number one. And after you place your order, you're expecting that order to be 2 windows down when you go there. You don't go and you say, may I please? You might say, may I please, but you know what I mean? You're not begging, you're expecting to get what you asked for.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what prayer and morning rituals creates. It gives us that expectation because God said, as long as we follow his will and we renew our mind and, we continue on the path, we can expect his promise.
Facts. And that has to do with faith. That's all manifestation is. You affirming, because like you said, man, like God gave us that power. No matter whether you watching this at home, you watching this replay 10 years from now, whether you believe in God or not, whether you have a religion that you identify with or not, no matter what, no matter how you look at it, even if you use it for something negative, if you're in fear that you're going to trip up the stairs because you're walking up the stairs in the dark, the moment that you embrace that fear and say, oh man, I know it's no more steps, your foot going to fall through the air because you are on the last step. That's why you're doing that. You already know what it is. So when you affirm it and then you believe it and then you act on it, all you're doing is getting into the way of the pass so you can score the touchdown. God already threw the ball. He already knew where the receiver was going to be. He put you there. You just gotta fall in, like you said, in alignment. And I think that that's why I asked, well, what is a morning ritual? Like, who does that? Because you did it though. I needed you to get the foundation of why we even do morning rituals. So
one of the morning rituals that I like in the book is about being physically active. It's important for you to be physically active. Again, even when you pray, you're actually doing yoga. You're kneeling down. You're actually doing yoga. That's physical activeness. When you meditate, you're actually doing yoga, right? Because you have your legs crossed and your back is straight and you're meditating. This is all yoga. So it's very, very important. Motion, movement keeps you young. So it's important to keep moving. Just keep moving. I don't care if you gotta run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But keep moving.
Motion releases emotion because emotion emotion is energy in motion. That's what the E stands for. But physical activity is definitely a good jog. I really appreciate you confirming that because I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and jog again. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's very important.
So one more time, where can they go to get your books and how do they get there?
So if you're interested in ordering any of my ebooks, you can go to www.iamdesire.com. That is desire with a Z. Don't play with me. And also, before we go, I wanted you to ask me, but you didn't ask me, but that's fine. I want to talk about my newly released book. I just released it a few hours ago. 5 ways to boost your mental energy levels, right? 5 ways to boost your mental energy levels. And what inspired this book was Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Some of you are saying, well, she's wrapped up like a Muslim, but she's talking about the Bible. Well, we're taught that a good Muslim is also a good Christian. So if you hear me quote Bible verses, I'm just doing my job as a good Muslim and keeping myself sharp. Okay.
Knowledgeable. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So there's a verse that says, Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Amen. So this book was inspired by this verse because I understood that in order for me to increase my energy levels, I had to change my mindset. There's no way on God's green earth that you're going to be successful talking about you a bad bitch. That ain't going to happen. You a real nigga. You ain't going to be successful.
What are you manifesting even saying that? That's funny. That's what
manifesting. Thank you. You are an empress. You are an emperor. You are royalty. You are successful. You are Black excellence.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is why you see me covered and you see my crown, because I'm always keep my crown on because I am royalty. You know, I have my own way. I do my own thing. This is how I manifest, right? This is how I tap into my divinity. Yeah. This is what works for me, you know, and maybe one day it'll be a trend. You might see sisters walking around with face jewelry on and crowns and, you know, like it's regular.
Yeah, like next year, 2022. It's on.
Right.
Yeah, watch. You heard it here first. Merch Life Publishing Podcast, you already know. They're going to be copying off of you. And we both know this already. But, you know, emulation is like the biggest form of flattery and whatnot. You know, they say that, but, you know. People going to try to take it and then say that you didn't create it, but it's documented.
It's documented
first.
So tap in. I appreciate you having me. Do you have any more questions for me?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't have any more questions, but is there anything you want to say to the people? This is going to be online for the rest of forever. So what you want to say to them so they can come find you no matter where they see this at, how many years from now? Get excited.
Get excited. So we are working on some courses. We want to come out with some courses that are going to help you, brothers and sisters, to heal from the traumas that you've experienced as a child or even as an adult. Those things are coming into fruition. Again, stand by for the physical book, Black Girl Found, which is coming. We have now 4 written ebooks. One we haven't released yet, but it's coming as well. Bounce Back. And just remember, man, as long as you got breath in your nostrils, you can come back from anything. It don't matter what it is. As long as you are breathing, you can come back. You can bounce back from whatever is thrown your way, because you are a child of the Most High, made perfectly in His image. Amen.
Amen. Get excited, man. You already know I'm Merch Life J. That was Desire. She is the author, man. She is the author. Get excited. And I'll see y'all next time, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, do all that good stuff, hit the like button. Go ahead and comment what your favorite part, your favorite gem was in this podcast today, man. We appreciate you for watching. See y'all next time.
For having me. Peace, love, and light.
Make sure you subscribe to Merch Life Publishing while you're here. Hit the little bell button too, so you know every time we post some new content, man. Get excited. Thank you for watching, man. And as always,